We're starting a new segment off here at Fox West Texas. It's a commentary segment with yours truly, Sports Director Dax Gray. I'm going to be touching on local and national sports stories. And for my inaugural run in this segment, I would like to talk about the equality fight between the U.S. Women's National Team and the U.S. Soccer Federation. President Trump said in a tweet, "First win, then talk. Finish the job." That job was completed in a record-breaking form on Sunday in Lyon, France. The United States women's soccer team won their record-breaking fourth World Cup with the best goal differential the tournament has ever seen. The women won back-to-back World Cups. It's only the fourth time this has ever happened on both men's and women's side, to show you how hard it is to accomplish. The women have a 17-game winning streak in the World Cup that will carry over to the next World Cup. Out of the 630 minutes played in all 7 games played by the U.S. in this World Cup, not 1 minute was played where they were trailing on the scoreboard. Yes, this is the best women's soccer team to ever touch the pitch, and the biggest fight is still ahead of them: to be seen as equals to the men in the U.S. Soccer Federation. In a 2016 lawsuit against the U.S. Soccer Federation for wage discrimination, it opened the door for a brand new bargaining agreement, which opened the eyes to the entire world. Nigeria, Ireland, Australia, all protested equality in their countries. And Norway, they signed an Equal Pay Act in 2017. The U.S. national team is not looking for equal pay here. They're also looking for equal funding, equal promotions, everything equal to the men's side with the U.S. Soccer Federation. I know you're watching this and saying to yourself, the women don't generate as much revenue as the men. So let's look at this deeper. The U.S. Soccer Federation gets most, if not all, revenue from sponsorships and games played by both men and women. This without financial help from any other soccer governing body, which I will touch on later. Since the fiscal year of 2016, the U.S. Soccer Federation has reported that the women's ticket sales of $50.8 million has matched and surpassed the men's ticket sales of $49.9 million. The U.S. Soccer Federation does not keep track of which team is responsible for ad sales, but sponsorship money has gone up considerably since the women won the 2015 World Cup. Now, I'm sure you're sitting there saying, well, FIFA gives the U.S. Soccer Federation a certain amount for each men's and women's team. This is true. The World Soccer Governing Body is the International Federation of Associated Football, FIFA for short. An Associated Press report that came out in March stated the self-proclaimed nonprofit organization has more than $2.7 billion in its reserve and generates $6.7 billion in revenue. FIFA has been connected with worldwide accounts of bribery, conspiracy, corruption, and fraud. This stand-up organization gave $38 million to the 2008 Men's World Cup Championship team and only gave $30 million to the entire field of the 2019 Women's World Cup. $38 million to one men's team and $30 million to 32 women's teams. To let such a horrible organization set the tone is a mistake within itself. Today, a co-worker came into my office and asked me, hey, if the U.S. women's soccer team did as well as they did in this World Cup, would we even be talking about this subject? I was blown away by the question, and then I was even more blown away by the realization and answer I gave him. No, we would not be talking about this subject. With young generations watching the sport of soccer after such a historic run by this U.S. women's team, the U.S. Soccer Federation has a chance to show the world and lead the way in equality for all. Most of us believe we live in the best country in the world, and we lead by example on many fronts, which is looked upon highly by our friends around the world. Why not this be another example for the world, that America is the best country on earth? Let's make this as black and white as humanly possible for you. These women here, they had an incredible run to an historic win during this World Cup. Right here, that's a human, and you're a human. We're all the same. You can make every excuse until you're blue in the face. But let's get to the point here. When you put capitalism, revenue, and money between you and another human just to prove they are not as equal, you will find yourself on the wrong side of human history.